Have you seen The Avengers? Well, here's what would happen if Loki took over a member of the Justice League instead. A contingency plan by Batman would defeat him. That's because the Caped Crusader has a plan for what happens if anyone in the League goes rogue, even himself. Yet, not every plan goes well to plan. For example, Failsafe, or the Bat's contingency plan for himself. What happened, you ask? Let's put on our bat suits and dive right in. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us, it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin. Failsafe. The Crisis. Batman had an alternate, deadlier personality that he switched on when making the plan against himself. This contingency plan was a robot named Failsafe who would know any move Bruce or his allies could make as soon as Bruce thought of it. It was supposed to activate if the Bat ever killed. Yes, basically it would not work for the 40s Batman of the Bruce Timm show, but it works for the more recent iterations of the character. Anyway, when false accusations of the Bat having killed came in, they triggered Failsafe, who fought Batman, Nightwing, Superman, and Robin, ultimately leading Bruce to take refuge in Atlantis, and Failsafe taking over Gotham with an iron fist to eradicate crime, something the creature felt Bruce failed at. Eventually, Bruce left Atlantis and, with the help of his allies, injected a compassionate personality into the robot. Failsafe then eliminated Bruce out of compassion and, with his primary directive fulfilled, left for parts unknown, while Bruce woke up in an alternate universe. But how does this lead to Task Force VII? And what even is Task Force VII? So, to know that, stay tuned to the video. Next up, we have Batman's alter ego, the personality that created Failsafe, Batman Zur-En-Arrh. Batman Zur-En-Arrh versus the Bat of Gotham. Batman, issue 139, essentially watches how Joker brings out Batman Zur-En-Arrh personality. The various Batman Zur-En-Arrh across the multiverse come together in Bruce's brain, with the agenda of creating a crime-free multiverse by crossing lines Bruce would never. When Bruce gives them a fight, they activate Failsafe to go after the man, and while Batman tries his best, he ends up in a cell, next to the Joker regardless. At the same time, Bruce's old mentor has found Nightwing and Barbara Gordon, informing them about Bruce's predicament. Yet, many issues later, Bruce is still in his cell, unable to do anything, as Zur-En-Arrh, who has convinced Damian's Robin that he is the rightful Batman. He works to eradicate the rogues with extreme prejudice and violence. It goes too far for even Damian at one point. And then Damian finds the ultimate weapon the new Batman has created and plans to unleash an Amazos 3.0 robot. For fans who are unaware, we did a video on the Amazos robots. Here's the short recap. Amazos was created by Professor Iva and has the power to absorb others' power. Even just a single one became a Justice League level threat. What the new Batman means to do is create an army of these and unleash them to wipe crime. And his partner in this? None other than the creator of Task Force X, Amanda Waller. After all, she too means to wipe out meta-humans by taking away their powers. It's a match made in hell, actually. But how did Waller convince the new Batman to side with her? Waller and Zur-En-Arrh, a partnership to end all partnerships. Eventually, in issue 148, the Bat family does defeat Zur. It's quite clever, actually, with how they do it. They trick Zur into killing Red Hood, or Jason Todd, which activates Failsafe's primary directive, stop a Batman who kills. Well, some fans have found this as a plot hole because Zur hasn't killed before, and why would he do this now? That isn't important for the discussion in this video. Because after the Bat fam's victory, Waller's people pick up the body of Failsafe. How the Caped Crusader of Gotham leaves such a valuable item just lying there is definitely a red flag. But the issue is, absolute power tells us exactly what Waller plans to do with the creature. And it involves Time Commander, who too has been brought back to life. The issue talks about Waller's control over others, especially Time Commander and Dreamer. To achieve her goal, Waller will do anything, from threatening heroes' families, making them fight friends, killing presidents, invading entire countries, and placing bomb chips in people's hands. Her notoriety has spread far and wide. which is how she makes Time Commander, or John Starr, use his powers to bring Failsafe back to life. And she doesn't stop at Failsafe. She wants his Amazo bots reactivated as well, which forms her new task force. And that's Task Force VII, a team of deadly Amazo robots, each of which are a JL level threat by itself. Uh-oh, looks like DC finally has a villain worth their salt, but will the resolution prove satisfactory? Well, that remains to be seen. What we can take a deeper look at is the task force itself, so shall we? Task Force VII, the ultimate weapon against the Justice League. It is no coincidence that Task Force VII has the same number of members as the Justice League. After all, each Amazo robot is designed to take down a particular hero, building on Batman's ideal of having contingencies for when or if a League member goes rogue. So who can beat the Man of Steel? Let's take a look at Last Son. Last Son is a piece of work. I mean, trust us. This Amazo beat the Super Fam, the Shazam Kids, Parasite, and Black Adam. He was designed specifically to steal the powers of the Last Son of Krypton, which is also perhaps where the rather unoriginal inspiration for his name came from. But how did this happen? Well, Waller created a wave of outrage against the superpowered community to battle which supers came to help people en masse. Yet that was a trap, because as soon as the Justice League and others came to the streets, the Amazos began to attack them. For instance, Last Son absorbed Superman's powers while he was trying to stop a robber and ended up taking 2 bullets. This led to the Man of Steel falling out of the sky and both Superboy and John Kent rushing to help him, which led to Amazo taking away their powers as well. It also resulted in John being kidnapped by Amazo, who then gave the boy to the Brainiac Queen. After this, he stole the powers of Supergirl and Conkegan, after which, using Parasite, he attacked the Rock of Eternity. He tried to go after the Shazam Kids, Shazam, or as he was called then, the Captain, and Mary Marvel, but Black Adam was there to fight him. Despite this, all 3 were defeated by Last Son, even though the robot had to fight some of the compassion it had unintentionally absorbed from Clark Kent. So, which superhero do we want to see defeated next? Aquaman, you say? To fight the Lord of the Seven Seas, Waller sent Depth Charge. Depth Charge met Aquaman at the coast of Maine and absorbed his power, alongside those of other heroes like Beast Girl and Elastic Woman. After this, he captured Aquaman to take over Atlantis, as per the instructions of Waller. Here's the twist though. Waller, thinking she knew best, decided the reason that Atlanteans and the people on the surface didn't get along was the superhero, like Aquaman, not realizing that wasn't true in the slightest. Fans acknowledged that Depth Charge had a slightly more realistic purview of the situation, and thus decided to go with an army of sharks, though that would prove to be his downfall. At first, he managed to overpower Aqualad, and Aquaman asked his army to stand down because of that. Yet, as fans noticed, the shark psychology was affecting Depth, who got enraged at seeing the deference given to Aquaman, and threw his cage at the army, insisting they had to follow it as the leader. While, yes, he managed to wipe the ocean floor with the Atlantean Royal Guard, he lost Aquaman in the scuffle, something which no one thought Waller would be pleased about. But hey, she had other members of the Task Force VII to command who would succeed, right? Let's see. Failsafe. As we know, Failsafe was supposed to be the contingency against Batman. After the Zur personality was erased, Waller got possession of Failsafe and brought the android back, who helped her team up with Brainiac Queen. With their device that drains the powers of meta-humans, the Free used Failsafe's army of Amazos in ways we have already described, such as Global Guardian going after Martian Manhunter. Global Guardian, with powers like cryokinesis, flight, thermal blasts, absorption, invisibility, and elasticity, Global Guardian ambushed a group of heroes in London, among whom was Martian Manhunter. Yet, not every hero was easy to capture. For example, Green Lantern. Man, did he give Jadestone the Amazo sent to capture him quite the emotional lesson. Well, Starheart and Free Will did the job, but let's not get ahead of ourselves. Jadestone. When Jadestone stole the powers of Starheart, Green Lantern was able to steal them back through sheer will, something fans have noted. And then Seylan teleported most of the Justice Society away. Yet Jadestone managed to track them to Cost City, and this time got hold of Starfire's power. Somehow, this caused him to power down, allowing heroes to escape. When he rebooted, he responded to Waller that the powers had given him free will, which was causing conflict in his programming. While he eventually chose to follow his original protocols and ignore Waller's status as a threat, and instead see her as his commander, this played an important role later, for when he tracked down the team again, Alan Scott, recognizing the free will Jadestone now had, managed to convince him to let the rest of them go in exchange for Alan going with Jadestone to help understand the new changes Jadestone was facing. This also fulfilled the primary directive given by Waller to capture Alan Scott. That was interesting. But what about Wonder Woman? Did she escape, or was she too put under Waller's thumb? Paradise Lost. Paradise Lost captured Wonder Woman and absorbed the powers and speech patterns of Justice League Dark in Georgetown, after which he was dispatched to capture Cyborg, who was trying to hack into Waller's system from the Teen Titans Tower. Batman was also at that time visiting Cyborg for intel, and the two heroes fought Paradise Lost. While they lost, the Bat of Gotham managed to notice that despite all Amazos being linked to Failsafe via a hive mind, Paradise Lost had developed a personality, at least in a speech pattern. And when the Bat escaped, because Waller's team called Paradise Lost back to headquarters before he could capture Bruce Wayne, perhaps that is when the seeds of a plan to defeat this task force started to bloom. Who knows? Perhaps it's time to read the next edition of this series to see what happened. But before that, you've yet to meet the entire Task Force VII. After all, Waller wouldn't let the Flash run free now, would she? Velocity. Using his powers, which include vortex creation and superhuman speed, because, how else will you counter the Flash? Velocity managed to steal the powers of the entire Flash family in Central City. That was Task Force VII. Wonder how they get defeated, eh? Well, fans have noted that they're a developing personality distinct from their progenitor, Failsafe, and these are causing them to experience emotions like confusion and guilt. Sure, Jadestone might have stolen Jesse's speed, but he still needed Alan. And while all Paradise Lost got was the speech patterns of the Shazam kids, their powers are meant to go to the worthy, aren't they? How will this affect the Amazo? Discussions are welcome in the comments while we present you with a marvelous review. This team is supposed to stand against the original Justice League and support Waller's cause of eradicating metahuman. While The Boys makes a case for why superheroes aren't the best, comics like DC and Marvel have always given us heroes who try to live up to that definition, even at great personal cost. We root for them, and hence, while we may support Butcher, we cannot stand Task Force VII, nuances and all that, But despite that, we can agree Waller is playing our heroes now, and we are eager to see how they come out on top of this one, and what happens in the DC verse next. And if you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one, and be safe. Thanks everyone!